Hello again, Mr. Barry.
Hello, Mr. Mike.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time.
It has not.
Well, we're back to, of course it makes sense. And this, our topic for today has been referred to us by our director/producer. Because we live in the great white north, this wonderful country of Canada.
Canada, yes.
Inevitably, at one point or another, someone or everyone is going to see a game of hockey. And,
yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah, and myself, I've had this argument with a very good friend of mine over whether or not hockey is actually a game for men.
Why do you laugh?
Well, because he claims it's a game for women because you use your hands, you hold the stick.
What?
Yeah, according to him, a game that is for men is you only use your feet.
Oh, so he's a soccer player.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, it's not soccer. It's football.
It's football, depending what part of the world you're in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But one of the things that, going back,
Do I know this person?
Oh, quite well.
That's what I thought.
I thought you know him very well.
Yeah. Oh, so we're not going to mention any names.
Oh, of course not.
Okay.
No. But
to protect the innocent.
To protect the innocent.
Yeah. And ourselves.
But hockey, like myself, I'm a fan of and I know this is gonna raise some eyebrows, like what I consider to be one of the most famous teams in any sport. Mm-hmm. One of the most successful teams of any sport in any league, the Montreal Canadiens.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, there. See,
I thought about wearing my Montreal. I have a commemorative Montreal from 1989, I think.
Oh, they lost that year in the Stanley Cup.
It's sweatshirt.
Why would you bring up that year?
It was given to me.
Okay.
By a Toronto Maple Leaf fan.
Yeah, I laugh because this unnamed friend of ours didn't grow up watching hockey, and I would go on and on in great detail about what a great game it is. It's fast, it's violent, it's exciting, it's violent. And I remember showing him a video clip of two combatants, and the clip was before the puck dropped. They were lined up beside each other, and this is from the broadcast of the hockey game. The broadcast, the game is on, the puck drops, and these two big men, great big men. One was 6'5", the other one was 6'4", and they start, right? And he's watching that, and he's like, eyes are wide. He goes, why? I said, well, it's just part of the game. That's what they do. They're the enforcer. But the funny part was, I played him the playback, and one of those combatants was actually mic'd up. He had a microphone on during the game, so they could record his conversations on the ice. Yeah. And what really caught him off guard was when they went down to get ready for the face-off, the second player came in. You couldn't actually hear what he said, but the first player wearing the microphone looks at the guy and says, "Okay, you want to? Okay." And then he looks at him and says, "Good luck, man." So they knew they were going to. Yeah. It was not so much that it was staged. Yeah. But the second person was, in fact, up from the minor leagues, looking to make an impression. So he went after the biggest guy on the ice. And the biggest guy on the ice did what he had to do and gave him his chance. Yeah. And then they knocked each other's teeth out. Well,
but something else, though, there's honor in that, too, though. A lot of those guys know each other, and they know each other well. Mm-hmm. And it's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job. And their job is to go out there and bounce a few people into the boards and maybe take a few teeth out as well while they're doing it. It's like I said, that's what they get paid for. Yeah, it's a part of the game.
They protect the stars.
It's a part of the game. It's not. I mean, it's not as bad as it was with the Broad Street Bullies. No. With Philadelphia Flyers, when they had that dynasty, but. It's still a part of the game. Yeah, they've tried to get it out of the game, but it's always going to be there.
Going back to the Broad Street Bullies, the part that I find really funny. Okay, they won 2 Stanley Cups in a row, 1974 and 1975. Out of a roster of like say 20, 22 people, you had like 19 or 20 Canadians.
Yeah.
And the toughest guys on that team, one grew up just like north of Saskatoon, one grew up just south by Moose Jaw there. Dave Schultz, and can't remember the other guy's name, but I know he's from Moose Jaw. But they, like just a couple of small town boys making a name for themselves in a big league. Like they were treated like celebrities when they were in Philadelphia.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then again too, like Saskatchewan has produced an awful lot of hockey players. Like the New York Islanders, when they had their, you know,
Brian Trottier,
dynasty, Brian Trottier,
Clark Gillies.
Yep. Mike Bossy wasn't from.
He's from Montreal, but
yeah. And they used to go up and party. The whole team would be partying up north because Trottier had a cabin up there or something like that. And it was a big deal. I mean, and that brought people up to the lake too.
Oh yeah.
You know, because there's going to be a big party up there, and the Islanders. They got the
maybe,
cup.
They had the cup. Maybe they'll bring the cup with them.
They did that one year. They did one summer. They did bring it up there.
Yeah.
Yep. And
I've yet to see it in person. I have yet to see it.
No, I haven't seen it either.
We should go to Toronto one day just to see the Stanley Cup.
Is that okay? And that's the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, wow, was it there?
No, yeah, well, they didn't win it.
No,
it's just in the Hall of Fame.
I hope they never win it. I grew up when I was like 6, 7 years old. Toronto was my favorite team. Tim Horton. Was my favorite player, number 7.
Apparently, he was strong as an ox.
Now he's got then he opened up the Tim Hortons. Things, and then he was killed in I think it was a car accident.
Yeah, when he was playing for Buffalo.
But yeah, anyway. I was a big Toronto fan. I had the Toronto Maple Leaf sweater and everything, and my hockey stick and my big boots on, and we're going up. We're playing road hockey out there. The cars would come by and run over your goalposts. So you'd have to pull all the snow together, pile up the snow again. And you'd be playing along, and all of a sudden somebody would see the car coming down about a half a block away, and they'd go, "Car!" And then everybody's play stops, everyone goes off to the side, and the car goes by. Darn! He ran over the goalpost. Wait a minute! So we got to pile up the snow to make the goalposts again, and then, okay, play on! Okay, fine. And away you go. There was no offsides, nothing like offsides.
I actually just said to my oldest son the other day, we were talking about like sports, and we were talking about like, putting yourself as a child, putting yourself into the game. And he was talking about, I'm pretty sure he was talking about like, being on, he imagined himself on the basketball court and his favorite player was always passing him the ball. And I looked at him and I said, I can relate because when I was a kid, guess who always passed me the puck to score the winning goal in the Stanley Cup? And he knew, it was always Guy Lafleur. I said, it was always Guy Lafleur.
There you go.
Yeah. He always passed me.
The Flower, yeah. I started, and Montreal was my favorite team at that time. Back in early 70s, late 60s is when I decided I wasn't going to be a Toronto Maple Leaf fan anymore.
See, you probably cursed them because they haven't won since '67.
Yeah. Well, there's an old song by Tragically Hip.
Oh, okay.
Bill Bariski.
Yeah.
Bill Bariski.
Barilko.
That's what it is. Sorry. Yeah. And they found where he was out shopping, or what was he, out hunting or something like that, and he got lost and he died out there. I guess they found his body.
Oh.
And that's when the Toronto Maple Leafs won again, is when they found his body.
Yeah.
The last time when he was lost, it was the last time that he won it, and they never won it until they found him again. And that's what the song is about, from Tragically Hip. Not familiar. I mean, I'm familiar with the song, but I don't remember what the name of it is. Well, maybe somebody will tell us. Maybe someone will
hit the comment button.
Sign in and say, "Oh yeah, I've got that album."
Yeah.
And then maybe we can start talking about music too. Who knows? Anyway, now where were we?
I I have no idea. Other than we were sitting here trashing the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, yeah. Punching him black.
Yeah. Well, again, we thank you all for joining us. This was more of a fun episode. I don't think we actually accomplished very much because when it comes to hockey, there's so many stories that we can share. But it is like the greatest game on the face of the earth, as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot of
I
lot of honor, respect, and violence.
Yeah, I have a lot. But I think if you've ever played the game, you'll understand the camaraderie that the players have. That they become lifelong friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's another sport like it.
No, there isn't.
It's that they all share the same experience. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks, next episode, we're not sure what we're going to be talking about.
We'll come up with an idea,
and we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.